Okay, so in this session we will be speaking about the areas of price from which we take our entries. Now, what do I mean by this? I brought here three boxes for you guys. 1.2380 is a price. 1.2380, basically a price in the market on a pair. In this particular case, AUD and ZD. So we have this price here, that is the low, this low of the box, and 1.2395, which is the high of the box. In this case, 1.9350, that is the low of the box, and 1.9365, which is the low of the box. And in this case, you have 1.9320, which is the low of the box, and 1.9335, which is the high of the box. Now, immediately, you should have realized something. Each one of these distances here in price, so from the low to the high of these boxes, in all cases, this is 15 pips. Because as you can see, you have 80 plus 15 pips is 95. 50 plus 15 pips is 65. 20 plus 15 pips is 35. Very simple to realize this. Now, why do we use, in other words, the 20, the 50, and the 80 as entry areas? Now, the simple answer for this, even if you don't really need to know why we use them, because it will appear very clear to you that these areas of price, that these prices basically are very, very major areas in the market. Anyway, the reason for which we use them is because big hedge funds and basically firms that trade with high frequency algorithms that are called HFT basically use these areas to scalp the market. So that they really put like billions in the market at this very specific price levels, and you will see how accurate they are in the market. Every time the market hits these areas, the market rejects them very aggressively. So we use these numbers to basically fill in our orders for our swing trades. So we take advantage of the liquidity that of basically the order blocks that these firms put in the market to take our swing trades. Now, why do we have the highs of the box? Now, everything that I'm saying in this session, obviously, you just need to understand the concept. Then you will understand how to do it when we will speak about the entry and the sessions. But this is just to understand the concept. So, in this particular case, why do we have 95? Why did I put also a high of the box? Because we know that this is the strong level, okay? So we can just take our entries from these levels, but we need to use also this other number. So we need to put a box of 15 pips above the strong number. Now, why do we need to put the box 15 levels above the strong number? The simple reason is because in this particular situation we are taking short. If you want to take short and you realize that the 80 is the level from which you want to take short, and you will learn how to identify from which level you want to take short in the further session, in the next sessions basically. In this particular case, we know that we want to take short from 80, okay? You have to take this for granted at the moment. You know that you want to take short from 80. However, you know that most of the times when the market needs to go short from the 80, it will stop inside of this area of price. The market will be rejected somewhere between the 80 and 15 pips above the 80. And the same thing for the 50. When the market is coming from below and we want to short inside of this area, the reason for which we put a box that goes from the 50 to 15 pips above the 50 is because from this area we're expecting the market to be rejected. And again, the same exact scenario from the 20. The reason for which we put this box from the 20 to 15 pips above the 20 is because we expect the market to reject an area between the 20 and 15 pips above the 20. This is the reason for which we do this. Now, if instead the market is coming from above, then the situation is completely the same, but we need to put 15 pips below. So basically, what do I mean? If we have 80, then we will put 65. That is basically 80 minus 15 pips. If here we have 50, then we will be putting 50 and 35. Why are we putting 50 and 35? We're putting 50 and 35 because 35 is 15 pips below the 50. And again, why are we putting 20? We're putting 20 and 0.5 because 0.5 is 15 pips below the 20. So pretty clear, this is the exact same scenario. You can go back in the video and watch before and watch now. In both cases, we have our zone that goes from the strong number, because in this case we know that the market is coming from above and we want to take long from this area. So we will have 80, and we know that the market is supposed to stop inside of the area from the 80 to 15 pips below the 80. Again here from 50 to 35, so we expect the market to stop in between the area from the 50-35, which is 50 minus 15 pips, 35. And again, the exact same scenario. We expect the market to stop inside of this area. Now, let's also speak about risk management in this video, because it's basically the same concept. Now, one thing that we need to know, why do we use this zone? Because if we want to take long, for example, let's imagine we want to take long exactly from the 80. If we know that the market is supposed to stop inside of this area, obviously our stop loss needs to be below the area if we're taking long, because in this case we're taking long. Same thing for short, it's the exact same scenario. We want to put our stop loss above the slippage number. This is called the slippage number, because if the market needs to go long from 50 and it goes below the 50, it is a slippage. So this will be the slippage number. We don't expect the slippage to be greater than this number. Now our stop loss, we take it obviously below this zone, and we will use also structure to place our stop loss. But that is something we will be speaking about in the sessions. This is just to give you the idea, so we know you know what I'm talking about when in the sessions I will put these boxes. And it's the exact same scenario for all three the strong areas. We want to put our stop loss, we need to be below this box. That's simple. If we expect the market to go to 50 and we know the slippage can be to 35, our stop loss needs to be below. How much below? That we will determine using structure and many other things, but the important thing is that it is below, and the same concept applies to all numbers. Now, this was for basically the strong numbers in the market, and you will learn how to use them in the next sessions. Now, one thing I want to speak about is risk management, because we just took for the first time the risk to reward tool. Now, for those that don't know what this tool is, basically it helps you identify what is the risk to reward on your trade, and it also tells you how many pips your stop loss is. And you need to use this basically to calculate your risk per trade. What do I mean by this? If, for example, you're taking long, so you expect the market hits your entry and you're taking long and you're expecting this move to happen. So basically in this particular situation, you're risking 127 pips to make 503. So in other words, you have a 1 to 3.96 risk to reward. So you're risking 1 to make 3.96. Now, you need to calculate your 1 according to the rules. So in my particular case, 1 is 1%. Basically, I want to risk 1% to make 3.96%. Now, if you're risking 2%, then you're risking 2%. Let's make it round so it will be easier also for you guys. If basically in this particular situation, I will be risking 1% to make 4%. If you're risking 2%, you're risking 2% to make 8%. If you're risking 3%, you will risk 3% to make 12%. So this is a very simple concept. Now, how you're supposed to calculate your lot size in order to have this kind of risk to reward. So basically how you're supposed to calculate your lot size to be risking exactly 1%, 2%, or 3%. Now there is a simple formula to do this. However, you don't really need it, because what you need to do, you can go to any of the many calculators online that there are. In this particular situation, I will go on the position size calculator of my Forex book. You can just Google it, position size calculator, my Forex book, and you will get to this page. Now what you're supposed to do on this page is just put inside the balance of your account. Let's make an example. Let's put 100k. You want to risk 1%. Now, how many pips is your stop loss and which currency pair are you trading? Now, in our particular situation, we were here on AUD NZD, and on AUD NZD we are risking 127 pips, and we want these 127 pips to be 1% of our account. So let's go here and let's put 127 pips, and let's select AUD NZD. We go and calculate, and you get 1.36 lots. So basically, if we want this 127 pips to be 1% of our account, or in other words, we want it to be a $1,000 risk, then what we need to do is regulate our lot size to be 1.36 lots, how the calculator has just given us. Very simple concept. Now, another rule about this is how you're supposed to calculate your lot size. Now let's speak about risk to reward. Now we want risk to reward generally to be at least 1 to 3. Now what do I mean by 1 to 3? That basically if I'm risking if I'm basically risking 100 pips, let's put it in 100 pips, I want to be able to make at least 300 pips. So basically a 1 to 3 risk to reward. As you can see, risk to reward ratio is 1 to 3. Now why do we want to position ourselves in this situation? Now if you already know the answer, you can just skip this part, but I would say it for people that are not familiar with risk management and risk to reward. So if you have why do we want to position ourselves in the market in order to have at least a 1 to 3 risk to reward? The reason for this is because if, for example, we take 10 trades, I need to write it because it will be more easy. Let's imagine we take 10 trades. Okay, we take 10 trades, and obviously trading is a game of probabilities, so you won't be right all the time. Let's say we have a 50% win rate, so we win 5 trades and we lose 5 trades. And we lose 5 trades. Now, what will happen if, for example, we have a 1 to 3 risk to reward? If we win 5 trades, how much will we make? We win 5 trades, and let's assume we're risking 1%. We're risking 1% per position. Okay, our risk is 1%. So, and we are risking 1% to make 3%. So if we win 5 trades, this means that we risked 5 times 1% to make 3%. So it means that we made 15%. So our total gain will basically be 15%. And if we lose 5 trades, obviously we will lose 5% because we're risking 5%. So overall, with only a 50% win rate, we are up 10%. Now let's make even a worse scenario. We take 10 trades, and in this case we lose 7 trades. We basically lose 7 trades and we win 3. So in the next example, we are basically losing 7 trades and we're winning only 3. So what will happen in this case? We will lose 7 trades. So we'll have a minus 7% because we're risking 1% per position. So we are negative 7%. But the 3 trades we win, obviously you need to do 3 times 3. Because we're risking 1% to make at least 3%. So if we win 3 trades, it means that 3 times we won 3%. So we will have a gain of 9%. And as you can see, you only won 3 trades out of 10, so you lost 7 trades and you're still in profit. And that is the secret of trading. That is the real holy grail of trading. The reason for which you need to position yourself in the market in this way is that even if you have a very bad win rate, you will still come ahead in this game. And it's very, very important concept.